See if it comes up on here. Come up on here. All right, if people come in, we're waiting for folks to come in. Oh, I don't know who's in here. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, I'm looking down, waiting for folks to come in. Hold on, let me get the chat up. All right, who's all in here? All right, V Griffith, I see you. Tanya, what's up, baby? Can y'all guys hear me okay? Let me know y'all can hear me okay. I'll tell y'all what I'm looking at here. Okay. And let me make sure the live goes on for me. I believe the company should focus on what they do. All right, let me turn the volume down. I can see the chat. Hey, D, looking over here, because y'all, this thing is so jacked. It used to be YouTube, when you guys, when we do it from the device, it would stream the chat, but show it for a few minutes, and then it goes away. And you had two different chats to do. So what I do is I've been using the iPad, and I can see your chat over here. So I have to kind of look down because I'm not sitting at my desk. If I sit at my desk, I can sit them side by side, but I'm in the room. And I'm going to chat with y'all. I'm sorry, I was supposed to be in here at 11:45 Arizona time. I was finishing up some stuff for my Christian channel. And then I'm trying to upload the stuff on YouTube for the Christian channel. Okay, I'm trying to skip this ad. There we go. There we go. I like to chat on the side. So right now I'm trying to stream it on the side over here. There we go. It's streaming. She said, make us laugh, girl. I don't even know. It's been a lot. So she said, make us laugh. You're like, look, Ninja, I need to laugh. I feel you. Because the world is like that, right? Oh, I don't even know where to start. A lot going on. Like I said, there's going to be more of shooting the shiz today and hopefully some encouragement because I know some of y'all in the background. I was putting up the prayers for my sister, and I know some people have hit me up and said I really needed that today. I know everybody's going through. I know my aunt, she'd gotten out the hospital and she said, baby, I've been depressed. I'm like, girl, bye. You better come up out that depression. You still here. There's some folks that ain't still here. Girl, better come up out that depression. You still here. We still breathing, walking around. Look, Fluffy able to go out and get some food and get out the house. We still here. So whatever y'all got going on depressed, y'all, yeah, please give us a like, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Whatever y'all got going on with the depression, we got to come up out of that. I've started just laughing at stuff. I do. I sometimes it don't mean it could be stupid, it could be dumb, it could be crazy as hell. I just start laughing at it. I'm gonna tell y'all, I got my new seat. I don't know if y'all can even see it. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I still got to unpack stuff. But I got a new CPAP. So my new CPAP is here. I might put a picture up on it. I'll put a picture up on the community page of the new CPAP. Anyway, you can't see it because it's over there in the corner. And so I got to work on the house. That's why I'm now feeling better. Now that I'm not with that wretched company, I'm feeling better. What's up, Tasha? I'm feeling better now. I'm not with the ratchet company. And I have not done, for those of you who are supposed to be doing a Zoom, I was going to do it this weekend. I'm going to do it next weekend. I'm still in training at the new company. This week is my last week of training. Then I'm into my regular schedule and I'll have Wednesday, Thursday, Sundays off. I think I'm gonna try to do a live on Sundays. I don't know if it's every Sunday or every other Sunday. I'll make a decision and start doing it on Sundays. So I'll probably do them Sunday sometime in the afternoon. That really works. And try to come up with a time. And I'm sorry, I'm a ninja. It's gonna be probably CPT time like it was today, because it just depends. Because I'm working on stuff on the Christian channel, I'm working on stuff on this channel. I'm really starting to focus back in. My friend hit me up today about the barbecue sauce. I'm like, I'm getting ready to work on it. I gotta order a grill. I was gonna order a grill, and the grill I wanted, they sold out of it by the time I was getting ready to order it. So I'm probably gonna order it or another model of another bigger model, which is more expensive of it, because I have a certain brand that I like because their grates are what are they? Cast iron, and I like cast iron grates. You can go with those little metal grates. I don't like those as much. Cast iron to me is a much better grate. It's just a better cooking surface. So I like that, and I'm going to be trying to get a different, because of how the back is. It's not as big as my other complex. I used to have the drum kettle grill. This time I'm thinking about getting what's called almost like a what's it called? It's like the green egg. They have the green egg, which is extremely expensive, which I would love to own, but those are like $1,000 range grills. But this is it's ceramic. It's a ceramic grill. So the heat levels in those grills can get up to 700 degrees. And it's a good smoking grill. So I'm leaning towards, I have one that I like. It's short. It's about this. I don't know. I'm thinking it's about this high, and little legs, and it's like a baby ceramic grill, not green egg, but in that vein. So I was gonna order one. They have it on. They have it on Walmart.com. They had it on Amazon. I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm gonna decide for sure. And by next payday, I'll have it ordered, and that's part of the whole barbecue thing. Um, I've got some things I got to work on, but I'm glad we're getting there. Anyway, um, I just been trying to. I've gotten out a little bit more now that I've been vaccinated. I have gotten out. Obviously, Fluffy went to the restaurants. That's where I've been. Hold on, what she say? Oh, you only wanted the one? No, I can't decide for you. But you're a female. We know that the one shot Johnson and Johnsons, those have, for certain women, it has triggered blood clots. And trust somebody who has had blood clots in their life. They're dangerous. You do not want them. My aunt just got through dealing with them. She had them in her lungs. It has caused lung damage. She is in her 70s. You don't want it, a 70-year-old woman, but you dang sure don't want clots at all. Clots are very dangerous. They can kill you. I have an aunt who lost vision in one eye, and because I cuss from Monty's side because of the clotting disorder. The aunt that had the clots, she's on my mother's side. No clotting disorder. Her issue, I think, is that she was very sedentary and not walking because of an accident. Um, it didn't do anything. Just got a lump in your arm. Okay. Did you do the Johnson? Did you, Tasha? Did you do the Johnson and Johnson? I'm not understanding. But for those of you don't, I wouldn't. Now my best friend got the Johnson and Johnson. She's okay, but that was prior to them knowing. But for those of you who haven't gotten your vaccines, I'm a proponent against the J&J. Okay, it's a choice. I'm a proponent against. I went Pfizer. I went Pfizer. Thank you, Tanya. She said, "Where's some Johnson?" Look, because it's not even, it's something in that shot that has triggered the blood clots, and it's a certain type of blood clotting issue that it triggers with the J&J, and mainly for females, mainly for females. So I'm just gonna say, be careful. I'm praying that everything is fine, because not every, my best friend got it. She's fine. Jane is very active, but she has not had any issues. She got the Johnson and Johnson. Um, Anybody else who's thinking about it, I am personally a proponent for Pfizer. My brother and his wife, they're at, well, he's an educator, so the universe or the college, they were given, the educators were given, obviously they were a priority group. So him and his wife were got the they got Moderna, But I went Pfizer. Pfizer just even I found it interesting that Pfizer is the one that they recommend for the kids. So I just stuck with Pfizer. Yeah, well, you see, that's the reason why the news is talking about all the issues with J&J. That's why they talking about all them issues because J&J. As soon as the J&J, everybody like, oh hell no, we already got to fight COVID, and y'all trying to kill us with blood clots. Like, no. So I would recommend either Moderna or Pfizer. Me personally, I decided on Pfizer. Like I said, my big thing with Pfizer, it was not government backed. I'm like, for me, it's like American cars. I'm not an American car fan, but if I win American car, I would go with Ford because when they having all the money issues and the car companies got out with their tin cup in their hand. Oh y'all, I gotta show you my little cup. I put it as a picture. It was cute, and it might be for kids, but I just thought it was cute. And Amazon had a what they call a sale. You see that? So I had to buy it. I don't know what I'm putting there. You could do little coffee drinks or whatever. But it's a little bear. Isn't it cute? He cute. Ain't it cute? And it's double wall, and it is glass. It's glass. And he just as cute as he want to be. I was like, that is the cutest little glass. I think it was $9. And so I don't know. I do coffee drinks in there and do whatever you want in there. It's a little glass. Could actually be a little wine glass if you want. It's just the cutest little thing. So I got the little glass. Anyway, I take him to the kitchen. I had him in the room. I came in here and unpacked him in the room. But what I'm gonna tell y'all. Okay, they oh. So I have my laundry picked up. I just received a text message. I have my laundry picked up, and my laundry is picked up through a service. And last night they were supposed to pick it up, and as long as you give them 12 hours, so as long as you give them 12 hours, they don't charge you extra. But if you do a rush service, they charge you, I think, like $30 or something. They charge you extra for the rush service. Well, I had contacted them and say, hey, can you pick the laundry up? And they pick up 24/7. Is what they're supposed to pick up. Well, they hit me up and they said, look, Miss Lewis, we don't have anybody right now. We're short staffed. Can we just pick your laundry up in the morning, and we'll get it back to you the same day at the time you asked? Like, no problem, not a problem. So I went ahead and I go to get this invoice. This it's been that day. I go to get the invoice, and the invoice showed me like $130 for doing this laundry. I'm like, whoa, pump your brakes, cowboy. And I probably did. I had quite a bit of laundry. So they just went back and they like, oh, we just redid it. I'm like, okay. I said, you charging $30 extra for this, and I got to look at it again because I ain't looked at all what it is, but it was a chunk of change. And they're like, oh, we just resent it. I'm like, okay. When I get through with this live, I'll go deal with it. And I was like, first of all, you guys couldn't pick it up on time. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's your issue. They make the other Shannon come to the table. I said, here, look, click. I told y'all I'm a proof person. Click. Here. I've learned over time when you deal with folk, you especially business, even if you're working in a business, make sure you always have documentation. Click, 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 click. And I was able to do a photograph of the chat from last night from them. And they're like, oh, we'll get it corrected. Yes, you will, because I'm not paying that. You bring the dirty laundry back, and I'll find another service. Because y'all ain't the only one. I like them. They're pretty decent. And it's, it can be an accident. But, yeah, but no. So they're fixing that. So the text message I got was them fixing it. Um, but no, I can't. And that's the reason I went Pfizer, because Pfizer was the only company that we have available here in the U.S. that I know did not take money from the government. Moderna was government backed, and that's the reason I didn't want Moderna and I chose Pfizer was because Pfizer, I know who Pfizer was. I hadn't heard of Moderna until Trump started talking. I'm like, who the hell is a Moderna? I never know who the hell that company is. I never heard of them. Are they a drug company? Yeah, but I never heard of them. Pfizer is like a Johnson and Johnson. They've been around a long time, and I was leaning towards Johnson and Johnson until we found out about the. I was more Pfizer initially, but when they were talking about it's only the one shot, I was like, okay, that'll be cool. But when they came out with the whole, and God is good, because it was a friend of mine who told me, because I didn't know, I hadn't heard the story. I've been busy. And she had said, yeah, I was going to get the one shot, but apparently something with blood clots. And then that morning I started looking at the news, and that's when Fauci had got on there and started talking about the blood clots and everything. I didn't even know that was happening. And so, and I'll read this in a minute. So I started, and I went back to my original premise, which was Pfizer. And I wanted the Pfizer vaccine. Well, then everybody and their mama was having problems with just even getting the vaccine at that point. Because my friend Joe had called me and he's like, Shannon, because he knew I'll research everything. I'll research something to death before I make a step. Look, I'm researching grills, y'all. I research anything for the most part. If it's a purchase where I'm spending over $50, you best believe Shannon is researching it. If I spend, well, I'm going to say 30. It could be 30 and above, especially when it gets into the $50 range. Child, bye. I'm researching any and everything I can on that. I research everything. Shannon don't play. I research it to death. And so if I spend usually over $50, it's getting researched. I'm going to compare. I'm going to look and see if anybody else online got it cheaper. I'm going to go see reviews. I do the same thing with restaurants. I go to Yelp and somebody will tell me, oh, da-da-da-da-da. I go look at the research. Like a friend of mine, Linda told me about this place out here called ATL Wings. Girl, they so good. They delicious. Blah, 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 blah. So I ordered the wings. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fried food person. Every blue moon, but I'm not a heavy fried food person. I'll get a craving for wings every blue moon. Is not my number one thing. I did the wings over at the Brunch and Sip because when I was doing the shrimp and grits, I was like, that looked good as hell. Because they looked extra crispy. I was like, oh, and just looked good. And it was sitting on top of the pan. Y'all saw the picture I did. If y'all watched the video, sitting on top of the pan. I was like, ooh. So I went and tried them. Great. I'm going to tell you, the flavor was on tilt. The ATL wings she told me about, I went and looked at the Yelp reviews. They were barely getting 3 stars. They were like 2.5 stars. She swore by them. I ordered them, but I also called. And the service I got on the phone, crap. Some young kid, I'm like, okay, I don't know that I'm going to order from you again. Then when I got the wings, they were okay. Only thing I give them was the size of the wings were good, but their hot was not hot for me. When I like wings, I want suicide like wings. I like them. I'm so bad if I want the hot wings, I want the ones that they call suicide with the crushed peppers on them. Y'all have no idea. And drenched in that vinegar and hot sauce with the crushed chili. That's the ones I want. The other thing I want with my wings is I want carrot sticks or celery, preferably carrot sticks. They didn't offer that. All they had was the wing and the sauce. That was it. I'm cool on you. I'm cool on you. So that was it. But yeah, so for me, guys, if you guys are looking, I'm a proponent for the Pfizer. Pfizer didn't take government money. The other thing is that I had watched some information, and Pfizer had been researching. Forgive me, y'all. Pfizer had been researching. What is that? They have chai. I need to order some chai. I'm gonna get to the point. I'll talk about that in a minute. I love chai. I love like espresso and chai together. I'm getting ready to get to this right here. Pfizer had been researching COVID this is a hair. This hair is that long. It's a long hair right here on my neck growing. And then I have some that come under here. My old woman has kicked in. But I got a hair about that long and I just pull it. And she just, and it's by herself. I feel like the Asian man. I have to tell y'all this. I'll tell y'all the story. Remind me about the hair. I'll tell y'all the story of the Asian man who had the mole when I went in this, I'll tell it now. He had a mole right here and he had a couple of hairs coming out. Look, that's my chi-chi, right? That's my breast, right? That hair was all the way down here. I was like, why does that man, he didn't have no beard. He just had his one I was like, and you trying not to stare, but you like, this is weird. Bro, what's up with the, and it was like, I don't know if it was like 2 or 3 little hairs coming out that little mole. I was like, why would you let that hair get that damn long? I didn't understand it. And you be trying not to stare, but you like, because it's odd. And he had the long hair all the way down here. He could have braided that. I was like, wow. I don't know. I'm figuring maybe it's some kind of Asian thing, and maybe because they're into a lot of folklore. So I was like, maybe it mean good luck or something. I don't know, but it do look odd. He had his one little long hair. I was like okay. So, ooh, we talk about food. We talk about food in a minute. So, yeah. So I'm gonna recommend Pfizer. I'm really, really, really gonna recommend Pfizer. Let me see if anybody else has jumped in here. It's just us right now. Oh, did I do full bowl? I can't remember if I did a full. Did I do a thing on pho? I haven't been. Okay, so I do need to take y'all to pho. We'll do that one day. Cause I was thinking about going out of there going out yesterday to pho. I went and got Mexican yesterday. I took a lift over and got me some Mexican yesterday. I did ceviche. I had the ceviche delivered yesterday afternoon, and then last night I went to my burrito spot, which is Ritos, and I got me some burritos, and I love their hot sauce. And I can make the hot sauce. The hot sauce is simple. But I was reading an article on it was his sister, so I'm gonna talk about this real quick. It was his sister, and she had I guess within a year or something like that, a year or maybe I don't even know if it's a year, 2 years, this woman amassed $100,000. And I was like, and she talked about how she was living on a 50-30-20 rule. So what she did is she took 50% of her paycheck and that's what she lived on. And then I think she was saving 20 and something with the 30. I can't remember what the 30 was. I don't know if that was the emergency fund, 20 was a saving or vice versa. But she basically was living on 50% of her check and then the rest of it was some kind of saving emergency fund thing. Um, and had amassed $100,000 and she had cut out a lot of things. She cut out going to the manicurist salon. She cut out a lot of her external excesses. And I was like, okay, I need to reevaluate. Granted, y'all, I'm getting ready to do the whole car thing. So when we come out of training, we can start doing overtime. So that's another good thing. I don't know who all has jumped in here. I know we got 7 folks up in here. Let me make sure I got everybody. So A, Tanya said that. V. Griffith, I talked to you. D, I said, hey. Tasha, I talked to you. I don't know who the other people are. I guess they just watching, and you can watch. That's okay. Um, but yeah, so heads up, come out of training. This is my last week in training. It has been a lot of information. Did well on all the tests, anywhere from 90. Most of my tests, I was like 95 to 100. Um, it's a lot of information and just trying to put the information together. This is our last week in training. We're now taking the calls, incoming calls from the customers. So my job is twofold. I take calls, but I also process loans. So we process what we call cases, which are loans. So there's times when you're off the phone. So the end of my shift after I think 7 o'clock will be just processing cases. The beginning of my shift is probably going to be mainly phone calls. That the phone calls have been the biggest struggle because you got to learn where to go look for stuff based on the questions that they're asking me. So that's been my biggest struggle, and I think that's most people's biggest struggle. Friday, I was hoping she was going to pull Friday because I felt like I was doing a little bit better in the calls on Friday. But the problem was that I was also working trying to get this CPAP because they were supposed to deliver it Thursday. They didn't show Thursday. They showed up Friday when I called them because I had to call them. Then they showed up with the CPAP. This little old man, y'all, the little old white man who tried to identify with black people. I gotta love you. Who's in here? H.E. Bach, what's up, baby? Thank you. Yep, keep praying for me. Um, it's a lot. They have a lot of growth opportunities, but it's funny because a lot of them young folks, they want the positions. I'm like, look, I told one person, I said, I'm here for the coin. I'm here for the dollars. And the checks are good. Because they pay our health insurance. I don't pay no health insurance, and it's health insurance coverage day one. So the checks are really nice and fat. I was like shocked because now not having that health insurance come out, it's per hour less than what I made per hour, but it's more money because I was salary with the last job, but it's more money in the long scheme. It's only like $1 less than what I was making at the other company, but it's more money in the long scheme because I'm hourly, I'm not salary. Um, and they pay overtime. I now get paid holidays. Like they paid us for the holiday while we were in training for Memorial. It was a Memorial Day, Memorial Day. So I got paid for that. I got paid double time and a half. You talking about some good money? That's that check was fat. I was like, thank you, Jesus. So, and then the overtime also, I'll be doing that. I'll probably just be doing a couple of hours at the end of my shift because until I get the job down, I don't want to overwhelm myself until I understand it. Once I understand it, I'll start increasing the overtime. But right now, I'm going to just do a couple hours at the end of the shift, and within 60 days, I should be able to buy a car. I have my eye on a car that I'm interested in. I don't know if that particular one will be available, but I like the model. It's an American car. I like the old Dodge Magnum. It's a wagon, the wagon version. It's like a station wagon, but I liked it. It's like the sporty look of it. I loved it. And they have one that I want that's pearl white. I still want to get a truck, but that'll be down the line after I get the Chapter 7 completed. My Chapter 7 is paid for. I got to call the tax guy. I just got to finish some tax stuff and make sure that he has everything filed. I got some 1099 stuff from when I did the trucking stuff. I need him to get all that straightened out. Once everything is done and filed, then I can go ahead and do that. And then I just have to give him a list of any old debts that I owe. So, yeah, so God is good. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for the prayers, and please be praying for me. Favor and not a lot of drama. I don't want no drama. I just want to do my job. We are still work from home. Um, we apparently, and I'm saying we because that's the group I'm in that does the loans. We will be work from home. I know right now through the end of August they don't have us going back. Once they tell us we have to go back into an office environment, and obviously it'd be my first time in an office with them. But once they tell us we have to go, they give us 90 days. So they give us 3 months to get prepared to get ready to go back in an office. So if that's the case, and the end of August is what they've already looked at. So August, September, October. So that means close to the end of the year before I'll ever be looking at an office, which works. So that gives me enough time to get me a vehicle, so forth. And they're based out of my home city of Tempe. So I like that. They pay for, if you go to Arizona State University, they pay for your college classes. You don't even have to pay. So I'll maybe taking classes there, but I'm also reaching out, getting ready to reach out. I'm gonna wait to get settled here first and start reaching out to Grand Canyon because I want to do, I'm looking at doing an undergrad for theology. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. But no, today just kind of shooting the shiz. But anyway, back to the man, because y'all, I make y'all laugh about it. It's funny to me. And this is talking to people, and I know I have people of all different cultures that watch this. So it's a little older white guy. He came. And I say white, y'all know I don't like the color thing. Anglo would be more of the original term, is what he would be based off of. Little Anglo guy, and he supposedly was Christian. I don't know if he was or wasn't. Older, he was in his 60s. And I say older because I'm 50. I'm getting ready to be 53. Coming up the end of this month. This coming weekend, 53. I hit 53. So I'm getting ready to be 53. He was 60 something. I think he was 63. So I think he was 10 years older than me. And we were talking, and very nice man. He's an older man. So I had asked the company, try to deliver this on my lunch hour on Thursday. They didn't show up. So I had to call them. They finally delivered it. And I've been needing it because, again, this deals with my sleep and it deals with my breathing. And a friend of mine who is in healthcare, she's like, I believe that's a lot of problems you're having right now. It's because you're not sleeping and your breathing is off. And it's that. And I do feel better after I come off this. And now, this is my contraption. But I didn't have the full face mask before. I had what they call nasal pillows, which are like this. This is the full face. So I now have that. And I sleep. I woke up this morning, looked around like where I'm at. Nice, deep sleep. A lot of times I don't sleep that deep, and I'll wake up. Like my doctor, I think she said 86 waking events, something like that. It was some crazy number of when I hit what's called your REM sleep, when you're supposed to deep sleep. I hit 86 events. But anyway, so the man comes to deliver this mask, or excuse me, the CPAP. Y'all, I'm gonna have y'all rolling. He walks in and he brings in. They told me on the phone I'd be getting what's called a ResMed, which is the same machine I have right now, but a newer version. He walks in and he pulls out this, he opens this thing, comes with this bag with all this stuff in it. And he pulls it out. He's like, oh, I can't give you this. This is on recall. My ninja, you interrupted my workday. Bro, I'm talking to my TL, who's my trainer, and telling her, she's like, oh, no problem, Shannon, because my attendance is good. That's just who I am normally. She's like, no problem, you good. You okay. Just, handle what you need to handle. And come to find out, I think her husband is on CPAP. And she says, my husband's on it and you need to get that handled. She said he's been on his, I think, 3 years. And I was like, okay. And so I told her, and I sent her a picture of what mine looks like now with the duct tape and everything. And I said, I don't even know if she's blowing the right amount of air. And so she turned around. So I told her, I said, the guy's here. So I'm hoping this is only going to take like 15 minutes. So I take my break, okay, trying to do all this stuff with this man because it's the same machine I have. It was a little, well, it was newer. It was a different model than the one I even had. The one I had at the sleep center is kind of like the one I have now with a couple of changes. But the one he gave me, totally new, right? She said I slept through several crimes. I'm done with you, D. You're stupid. I slept through, you done slept through some crime. Wow, bro. So wait. So dude comes in. I can't give you this one. It was a Rasonic, and it's on recall. I'm looking at him. I'm like, well, they told me I was gonna get a res med. You supposed to get a res med? He look at his stuff. This the wrong machine, bro. Bro, you wasting my time. I'm supposed to be on the phone helping customers. He's like, I gotta go back to the truck. I don't know if I have one in the truck. Let me go see if I have one in the truck. So he goes back to the truck, which he can't park in here because he don't know how to drive the truck in this area, I guess. I don't know how big the truck was. Oh man. He's like, yeah, I won't park in here because I don't know if I can get out. And if you hit anything, it's an instant fire. You'll get fired instantly. He built the company 18 years. Just as cute as you want to be. So he walks all the way back to the truck, and about 5-10 minutes later, he comes back with the res med. He had one on. He said, "You're lucky. I had one on the truck." No, Ninja, your company's lucky because I'm about to give y'all an earful for sending you all the way here, wasting my time with the Rasonic that wasn't supposed to be what I was supposed to get. That's on recall that you can't give me in the first doggone place. Madness. I was like, I am not winning right now, and he was sweet as he wanted to be, so I couldn't be mad at him. So we get everything at my desk. I still got boxes in the, y'all know I still got the boxes in the living room. I don't really have anything for sit on because I haven't gotten the couch yet. It just hasn't been the focus. I got the bed, I got my desk set up, I got the chair, and everything else. My next focus is the car. So I was like, and what I got as far as I got my supply if anything go wrong. That's been my focus was make sure you got a food supply, make sure you got toilet paper, and I'm still the same way, y'all. Still do that because there's a whole bunch still going on. Folks ain't getting it. Prices have gone up. Y'all, you don't believe me? Prices have gone up. Uh, we still got some madness going on right now. We got the climate issue, and we're still coming out of COVID. So hopefully, we're coming out of COVID. So there's still more coming, y'all. Y'all, we got hyperinflation. We got to pay the bill somehow. Folks think it's going to be simple and easy with this $1 trillion agreement that the government's coming up with. Y'all, bye. We got to pay the bill somehow. And that bill is going to come through companies who are going to be heavily taxed. They're going to roll that down to us. They're going to roll it to you because some greedy people on top, they don't want to pay any more money and they still want to make the same money they made. That's what they do. It's the nature of the beast. So you're going to get it somehow. You're going to get it somehow. They're gonna get you somehow. But anyway, so he come. I was like, okay. So then he sat down. Sat down. This ninja sat down, y'all. And just had started talking to me. I'm like, is this dude for real? Oh, he was real. So then he one of them people who of a different persuasion that don't know how to talk to us. So he gonna try to identify with me on being black. And the whole conversation was black, 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 and black people, black people, black people, and black people, black people, black people, and black people. Madness. Madness. Oh boy, black people this, black people that. Then he gonna tell me about Martin Luther King and that Martin Luther King and Martin Luther King's father, I don't know if it's true or not because I never heard of it, went and they took their name from Martin Luther, the Protestant minister, and that's where they got their name from. I ask black people when I meet them this. You stupid as hell. You about to get told off. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I had to take him to another level. And I was like, well, I don't know about that, but I do know that his nonviolence movement came from Mahatma Gandhi. I said, and I think that's phenomenal because he used a person of another culture in order to pull his nonviolence philosophy that he incorporated over here in the US. You're a smart lady. Oh, so black people, y'all, you know where this was going, right? And I didn't say nothing. I was like, this baby, he don't, and he was just as genuine. Then I said something about the Lord. So then he won't talk to me about, and he said he was a believer. Oh yeah, he said, Ninja, he sat down on my old trucking cooler and started trying to chop it up. And I'm thinking to myself, and taking his time filling out the contract for the CPAP, because it's rent to own is what they did. I guess through, I have no idea, through the insurance. I have no idea. My homie, he sat down, and I'm telling him I'm work from home, and that I was, and he just was gonna have, I like to meet people, and I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot, aren't I? Yeah, my ninja, you talking a lot. I really need you to fill that paperwork and go, because I gotta get back to work. 30 minutes. We only went over the CPAP for 15 minutes. He took him 15 more minutes of him blah, 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 to fill out the contract. He could have filled that contract out in 2 minutes had he stopped talking and focused. Then he gonna sit and gonna talk to me because we talked, said something about the Lord. He gonna remind me of an old preacher that some of y'all may or may not know, named E.V. Hill, famous old TBN preacher. Well, I like that, and I think most preachers need to preach like black preachers. Oh my God. I was like, wow, this is getting real. And just like I said, I did. Kathy, you said I know him. What's up, Kathy? You know he just stopped at your house, girl. Oh, you know E.V. Hill. I'm sorry, I think you mean you know this man. You done known somebody like this man that was at my house. E.V. Hill, yeah, everybody should know who E.V. Hill. Well, let's say everybody. E.V. Hill, famous old black preacher, and E.V. could preach. I ain't gonna lie, E.V. was deep. And so he gonna tell me. So then he goes there, and I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, well, not only black preachers preach that way, there are Southern white ministers who preach exactly the same way. It's a Southern style of preaching, but okay. Yeah. So this dude, he was here for about 30 freaking minutes. And I was like, oh my God. And when he left, I said, you want a bottle of water? I said, you would like a bottle of water to go? Basically, can you leave? I didn't mean to be mean. He was sweet as he wanted to be. I gotta tell my wife, I met a really smart person. Kathy said, I'm gonna put him out my house and tell him we'll complete this later. He was sweet. I didn't want to be mean to him. It was hot, and he had come in. He had his little thing around his neck, and he had his little mask on. And I said, "Have you been vaccinated?" I didn't ask for proof, but I've been vaccinated. And I said it was hot. We're Arizona. We're in a heat wave, and it's like we've been averaging 115 days. And this baby's in a truck, and he walked across the street, and I just said to him, I said, you can, he's like, okay, is it okay if I take, I said, he says, I'm vaccinated. I said, I'm vaccinated as well. And I went ahead and let him take it off. I let him take his mask off, because it was like, he came, and he sat down, and I knew he was hot, but I'm just like, wow. Girl, Kathy, that's exact, I already knew what he meant. But see, that's his impression of us, because again, there are people, and I understand it from growing up in an environment in a school where a lot of times I've been to events. I was asked to go to actually back when I was in trucking school, I used to go study at a coffee house right up the street from my house. And Arizona State University, they have a lot of the professors that are here locally that sometimes are living in this area, or they're here because they now have another campus here in Phoenix. And I got invited to go to the Global Warming Conference years ago. They paid $75, and I went. PBS was there and a whole bunch, and it was actually a very good conference. Back in 2009-10, when I went to trucking school. And so I went, but at the table we had a mishmash of people. There was an older white lady. There was this guy who I knew what party he was affiliated with. And there were other people sitting at the table. And the little older white lady, she said to me, "You speak very well." So I get that a lot. That's the big one I get. Okay, it's the mask. We'll come back to the mask. Um, you speak very well. That's the big one I get, Kathy. I get that a lot. And so, or you're very articulate. I had one person ask me, "You tell me I'm articulate," and then you ask me, "Do you know what I mean by the word articulate?" Pink people. Baby. I'm just like, wow, you really have an impression that we're dumb as hell. And don't get me wrong, I know, but every culture has people that are intelligent or not intelligent. So you're telling me that you think a black person don't know what the word articulate means? That right there is mind numbing. I was like, okay, you're very articulate. And I've gotten that since I was in high school. So basically, you speak well. And I don't expect you people to speak, all y'all speak Ebonics. Now, I can go Ebonics on you. I can go straight ninja route. Because most of us can't. We're, like me and my best friend said, we're black in America. We got different sides. But we have had to learn your methodology to live in the world you've created. With all the madness of what we've gone through from the previous administration to current, and this new, well, not new. Well, no, it is new because before it was covered up. This new unhinging or unleashing of you being able to be racist, or have open bigotry. We've been surviving in your society since slavery. We've been surviving in your society since slavery. I'm going to go down this route. I don't ever talk about it, but I'm not working at the old company, so I don't really care anymore. And the new company, I don't really talk about them in that way because actually I'm impressed with their diversity. And I'm impressed with their diversity on every facet. I mean, every facet. They are just like open and diverse. But we've been surviving in your world for a long time. And we've been getting along. That was one of the things that bothered them at that company that I was at, is that they thought that I had to, that I wasn't, I hate to say, I didn't talk ninja-ish. Matter of fact, one conversation I had with someone, they tried to, in a roundabout way, tell me that the issue I think that they were having with me was that I thought I was better than. No, that's not what it is at all. This is me. I'm not ghetto. So really what you're trying to tell me is you want me to act like a nigga. Let's go here. That's what you're telling me. Because then I fit the standard in your mind of what black people are. But because I don't act that way, you feel I'm better than you. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. What you're saying is I don't act the way you want me to act. You want me to be a nigga. That's what you want. Then I would meet your standards. Then I would be what you wanted. And you don't want me here anyway, regardless of what vein I come in. I'm too chocolate for you. And a chocolate person who is articulate, who speaks well, who don't act like you, who holds themselves in a different vein, that's a problem for you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let me get in here. I wasn't in college, Kathy. I was in high school when I was told by someone at my high school that I'm very articulate. And did I know what the word articulate means? I was in high school. And again, my high school was, you could count the number of blacks and Latinos on hands and feet. That's how few of us there were in my high school when I went to high school, and I was in Tempe. And I will tell you, I ran into a girl, her name is Laura. Last name was Gonzalez. Me and Joe met her, and Joe's Latino. Okay? Laura and I, we grew up in this environment. So we speak in a sense. I hate to say, like them, because that's what we grew up around. So when you meet Laura, she carries herself in a very professional way. I hadn't seen this girl since high school. I graduated high school in 1986. I was out at a restaurant, me and Joe, and I saw her and I looked, I said, I'm sorry. Did you go to Tempe High? Oh my God, Shannon Lewis. And she gives me a big bear hug. I couldn't even remember her first name. I just remembered the face. And I was sitting there, I was like, Laura. She's like, yeah. We started talking, and it's funny. She's Latino, I'm black. And we started talking right there at the table with Joe at the table about the fact that we were minorities at this predominantly Mormon white school. Laura's extremely articulate. Extremely. You'd have no clue if you met her. She carries herself in a certain way. Only way you probably know, because I'm chocolate. If you hear my two brothers talk, if we could take the chocolate off, you'd think you're talking to two Anglo men. Girl, speak. H.E. Box, say it again so the church can say amen. Can you say it again? We don't want you to act a certain way. We don't want you to be somebody decent. We want you down on this level. But see, it wasn't us hanging. Let's go here. Let's go and talk, y'all. Can we talk? It wasn't us hanging off the side of a building, acting a plumb behind fool, looking all ratchet on the Capitol. But it was us cleaning up your mess. We've been doing that for years. We've been doing that since slavery. It was us. It was us. It was us. Now, had that been us hanging off the side of it, it would have been a bloodbath. Had there been any other minority culture, it would have been a bloodbath. But y'all can go act a fool, hang off the side of the building. Hell, some of y'all still walking around going to restaurants eating. We wouldn't have got out of there free. We wouldn't have been able to get on a plane and go back home. Not after that madness. No, we would have been up in handcuffs. We would have been laying in body bags. Chow bye. They might have had the Air Force come over with planes and drop bombs. Baby. When I saw that, look, we got people who are highfalutin, people in public, what do you call them people? Newscasters, whose mouth was on the floor, who are African American. And they like, had that been us? White folks in the news industry was like, had that been some black people? Look, even their own culture was like, man, it would have been a bloodbath. But y'all put on hats. Look, y'all got it so good here in my home state of Arizona. On my home state of Arizona. One of y'all flew out there to do with the horns and the paint on them. And his mama went up to the judge talking about, my son, he can't eat certain food. So he's on a special vegetarian diet, and otherwise it makes him sick. So the judge granted him a special, because he's vegan. I wonder how many incarcerated minorities, African American, Latino, and other cultures, get that same right. I'm just saying. And here in my jacked up state of Arizona, the judge approved it. His mama. Child bye. Let me read your comment. Look, y'all, I can't. You know, Kathy, I'm gonna say this, and it was a good thing that I got my ministry license out of the AME, because the AME houses a lot of, y'all remember at the inauguration for Biden, as a matter of fact, one of the ministers who prayed was AME. AME has a strong history. I have to give them credit in the black community, but especially among educated blacks. So it's a church that has a lot of very well educated black lawyers, doctors, educators, CEOs of business. When I taught Bible study there, Trucker Bill's sister, she was a executive VP for AIG, had traveled all over the world. And so I'm sitting here teaching Bible study to these level of people, and here I am, this little black girl with a little high school diploma, not thinking but hey, God just giving me a gifting there, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm like, teaching these people, and you meet all sorts of people. Matter of fact, one of the people I call my church mother, she was a superintendent of schools here in Arizona, an African American. So some of the ministers, all of the ministers I was with, were very educated ministers who were become ministers and had been executives. And it's funny to me. It's funny to me. All of us had similar stories based on our ethnicity. And it was funny to hear people who were older than me, all the way down to me, and the discriminatory things they went through in companies. The one lady, she talked about when she used to do, the French braids that they try to claim from Bo Derek. Bo Derek did not have that. That's from a black culture, African American culture. But anyway, the French braids. And she talked about how she wore that and how that was being judged back when she was in her corporate management positions, so forth and so on. She talked about her treatment. You listen to the treatments in the boardrooms on how they're treated. And it's just like, what the hell? Some of these people had Harvard degrees. And I'm sitting up there, and here I am. I don't have a college degree. I've taken a lot of college classes. I probably should have a degree with the amount of college stuff. And even the classes that companies sent me on, obviously white-owned companies sent me to do management and other pieces of my jobs. It is absolutely amazing to me when I sit back and I see that across the spectrum, regardless of your education, in corporate jobs, regardless of your position from bottom to top, how we have made it and what we have put up with in the grand scheme. And the sad part is, people who are just like other people, they got a college degree like you, went to some of the same institutions as you, and because of their ethnicity are treated so differently. And even gender. So even if you're a female and a male, the company I'm at right now, they're young on the Fortune 500, and I'm looking at the executive board they're putting together, and I was like, oh my God, they got black women on the board. I'm sitting up there like this. I'm like, oh, I'm buying your stock. I'm so impressed. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they're perfect. I see some things as I see it, but for the most part, I'm impressed with the fact they're trying to be more diverse on all levels, on all levels. And this one way thinking and it takes a big picture. What show was I watching? I was watching this show. Oh my God, what's it called? Salvation. The show's called Salvation. And if you haven't watched it, it's actually interesting. It's kind of like a semi-sci-fi show. There's a asteroid heading for Earth, and I just found it on one of these channels. So I'm watching Salvation, and this guy is like genius. He's like like an Apple type genius guy, and he's coming up a way to possibly preserve the human race. His one thing is a rocket that goes into space that houses 100 and some people, and he has to choose who would they place on this rocket or this spaceship in order to save what's known of the human race in case this thing hits Earth, and how long it would take, blah, 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 blah. So he puts together a team of people. Now, the really, really smart people, they want to get nothing but smart people. They don't want anybody who may be gifted as far as poetry and religion and other things. They just want people who are scientifically geniuses. That's what he wants. But he doesn't make the group up of just the intelligent, smart people. He puts people on there from different walks of life. And one of the girls who's there is that person who is, what about the arts? What about, this, that, and the other thing? He puts somebody like that because it's a bigger picture. When they find this salvation kind of like ark thing he's doing to save or have a portion of humanity to save. He has put his money into things like Bibles and religious things, and and what I'm getting at is it's a bigger picture. And when you have companies that are so one-sided on one ideology and one gender, this is what makes your company as white males. You don't have a broader perspective. And what you do maybe at the bottom level is it's okay to have some ninjas. It's okay to have some women, but we don't have them in our executive board. And because this is not up here, it's really very minute down here. Whereas this company, like I said, when I came onto the Zoom, I was like, older people, white people, black people, Asian people, Latino people, gay people, transgendered people, straight people. They covered the spectrum. And I was like, whoa. I I've worked for companies that are diverse, but on this level, it's something else. And the growth opportunities that they have, and they're covering all spectrums. I'm impressed. Honestly, I'm impressed. And like I said, I'm not saying they're perfect. I see some areas there needs to be work, and they're still figuring out stuff because they are a new company. But I'm just like, whoa, whoa. You when you do that, that's why I said transportation is hurting, and they're hurting for other reasons. They have a shortage in trucking, not only because it's a hellish job. It's hellish in that industry because they got old thinking that don't want to change. And when you do that, it stagnates, it kills, and people eventually don't want to work for you. They don't want to work for you. You know, if I got to put up with the same stuff and you not doing anything different, and then what they're thinking is, I can still keep my philosophy and throw money at the problem. No, baby, your issues are bigger than that. The company I was at, there was a very, 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 very popular YouTube trucker. I mean, big. He brought them a crap load of drivers. He plugged that company. But I noticed, and even Nikki, who used to hang with me, who was also a driver, me and her had side conversations. And I said, did you notice this such and such and such? And I was in the background on one of his groups, this particular trucker. And I said, I noticed the difference on how they treated him and the other three major white YouTubers. And it was totally different treatment. And I always wondered, was it racial? After working in the company, I can absolutely tell you I believe it was. They may not see it that way because some people are just like that man who delivered this CPAP to me. They don't know how to interact with us, and they really don't care to try. They don't want to know. They don't want to sit down and have those conversations. We need to have the conversation. You need to be open enough to step outside your way. Oh boy, that was in a previous administration. I'm going to be a dick and I'm going to stay a dick because I'm a dick, and that's people identify with that. There were people from all cultures, more so from his culture, that identified. I have black folks I know who lined up with him. But there's another thing I'm going to say. And I just said this to Joe. Some people identify with butthole people because they have no significance. So I don't have any significance. I'm not important, and I won't fit into other areas. So I'm going to align with this, that, and the other thing. So there's people that are like that. So far, I like what I see. Like I said, it's more so just the systems and learning them, and they have some ups and downs to some stuff there. But other than that, it seems to be decent. Let me see what else we got going on. Well, I guess I lost some folks because I was talking about racial stuff and they don't want to hear that. But yeah, no, I see things in different veins. And it's not something I've ever got on here and talked about, but I do think we do need to talk about it. I think that we've been too closed off to having these conversations. And when I say, I said about encouragement because I've gotten some people in the background that I know are going through some depressions coming out of COVID. I want to shift gears a little bit here. And I know that people are struggling coming out of COVID. You're struggling for financial reasons. You may be struggling. People are struggling coming out of COVID. COVID has been a beast. And, we're still going through it. It's not gone yet. But we're still going to be struggling for a little bit. What I'm going to say, and I said this to my Christian group this morning, you still here. And if you still here and you made it through 600,000 deaths that happened with COVID, you still here and we're making it through climate change, you still here and businesses have shuttered, and prayerfully you have somewhere to live, somewhere to eat. I'm praying that for everybody. You made it and you still here, then you need to find what your purpose is and you need to utilize it, not self-centered for just you. You need to find purpose in order to be a blessing to other people. I think if anything we should have learned out of this and being isolated in a home, we should have had some what I call come to Jesus meetings in our house with ourselves. But we also need to understand, wow, I'm still here. I'm not laying in a casket like other people. I'm not on a ventilator. I'm still here. And if you made it through COVID and you had COVID, some people are going through long term. I got a friend of mine, he has a niece. She's going to be long. She had COVID and she's one of those ones that have severe side effects that are going to be lifelong treatments. I don't know if it's going to put her on disability. It might. And if it does, then you're not going to be having the same income because you're not able to work like you were before. So you got that to deal with. But you're still here. So you still need to find some kind of purpose and try to be a blessing to someone else. If you can do that, I can usually promise you it will come back for you. It will come back. How long have we been on here, y'all? I don't know how long we've been on here. Oh, we're on here almost an hour. Anyway, I'm gonna be on here much longer. I will start posting. Y'all just watch a community board. I'll post whenever I'll be on live. It is most likely gonna be on Sundays. This weekend coming up is the last Saturday and Sunday I have off. Hold on, let me see what happened. Millions didn't make it, but we are some of the ones who did. I pray daily for those. Hold on, Kathy. Those directly and indirectly impacted. Long turmeric are going through it. Hold on, long turmeric. You said turmeric. I don't know if you meant turmeric are going through it. I don't know if you meant turmeric. I don't know what that meant. And yes, they can go on disability. I don't know what that meant, Kathy, but I think, long termers. Then you meant termers. Okay. Let me go back through the notes before I end this, so I want to make sure if there's anybody said anything. We talked a little bit about the vaccine. I'm a proponent for Pfizer. Oh, the laundry service. Okay, Tanya, I see you said laundry service. My laundry service I found through Yelp. If y'all don't know what Yelp is, you can download the app through your iPhone or your Android store. And on Yelp, just put in laundry service. I found during COVID, I found a whole bunch of stuff that would deliver. I don't even go to the grocery store except every blue moon. I do need to go to the grocery store and I might go tonight. I'm not sure yet. But for the most part, my groceries are delivered to me. I don't go to the grocery store. I don't. If I can find stamps online, I'm probably not going to the grocery store tonight because I'm down to I think one stamp, and I need to mail some stuff out. I might just order my stamps online because I really don't really need too much from the grocery store. Actually, when I get off of this, I'm going in the kitchen clean, and I got to do a refrigerator clean out. And I'm making my cabbage soup for the week. I'm on the cabbage soup thing, and I'm getting ready to do the cabbage soup. That I started it last week, but I did it in the middle of the week. Was it last week? Yeah, last week, in the middle of the week, and then previous week, and then me and Joe, we went out, and then before I knew it, I didn't have enough cabbage. But the laundry service, look on there. I don't know where you're at in the country. I'm gonna presume that most states, but I found a lot of stuff that it kept me from having to go out there in the madness of when COVID first started out before the vaccines, and they come to your house because I'm in an apartment. I don't have a laundry facility here. So what I was doing without the car was I would get a bag of laundry. I would have them take me up to the laundromat, and then I was doing it there. Right around the time before we knew, because old boy wasn't telling us the full truth, I had already started wearing a mask before they really talked about the mask. Because I was watching the people in China, and I'm like, they masked up. Since it came out of there, I'm going to go and do what they doing. And so I was wearing a mask, and when I went to the laundromat, I went late in the night. It was packed. And I'm like, this is like COVID central. Cause I'm thinking you really gonna pick COVID up in here. So that was my last time. And while I was in there, I'd seen a woman doing some laundry, but it wasn't through the same, because they have where you can drop laundry off at the laundromat and get it weighed, and they do it there. But I didn't have a car, so it just didn't make sense. Well, as I was reading, I was like, I wonder if they have a laundry service. Because years ago, when I was working at the bank, I used to have my laundry picked up dry clean. It was a dry cleaning service that would pick it up. Guy would come in the van, pick up all my dry cleaning, and do it that way. I was like, I wonder if they have one where they wash it. Because I know I could find probably a dry cleaning service that would pick it up. Sure enough, I found three of them. And so I kind of researched them, and I went with the one that stood out to me the best, and I've been using them ever since. And it's called Go Get My Laundry. And so they basically, I signed up. I'm, service, and I've been using them, and I will continue to use them. The other thing I realize is that oftentimes time is another thing. Even though we're supposedly coming out of COVID, I realize how much time can be wasted. I would right now. I'd be off on Saturday. I would have taken my laundry. I'd be there for 4 or 5 hours doing laundry. That's 4 or 5 hours of a day gone. I could be doing something else. So that saves time. Then I found out about Instacart, and I was like, oh, they pick up your groceries from a bunch of different stores. I had groceries delivered yesterday from Costco and a little Latino store I use right now for budgetary reason. I'm trying to get back to where I can just do Sprouts or well, they don't pick up from Whole Foods. I can do my Whole Foods through Amazon because I'm a Prime member, but it's more expensive. So I'm still kind of budgeting, and I'm trying to graduate back to maybe the Sprouts and our Whole Foods, because it's more organic. You got more organic stuff. But I'm still using the Latino grocery store. So I had them deliver yesterday, and then I had them deliver. What's my place called? I just mentioned it. Costco. All my groceries are delivered. I don't stand in line. I'm not worried about no little bad butt kids. I can either order. I don't even have to buy from. If I haven't really ordered from Walmart, but I do need to do a Walmart order. I haven't been bothered with Walmart. I don't. Mm, I don't bother with them. I don't look bad behind kids running around that I want to punch in the face. God forgive. And don't get me wrong, I do. I'm very good with kids, but I can't stand bad children because I was not a bad kid. My mom would have took me. Matter of fact, I went Friday after I got off work. I was like, I gotta get out this house, and I went and had some sushi. And so, I was really going to the fish place, but I wanted a bowl, and when I got there, they sold out, so I didn't stay at the fish place. Chula. I'm gonna try to order from them this Friday and see just have it delivered because they have a bowl I really want to try. A special bowl they do during the lunch hour, and when I got there, it was sold out. So I was like, I'm gonna go a different route. So this next time, I'm gonna just order it for delivery during my lunch hour. Uh, Anywho, so instead, I went to the sushi place over there, which I like, and I sat down and had me a really, really good little sushi fest. Um, while I was there, lost my train of thought. So I did the sushi. I got out the house, and it was packed. I mean, the place was really it was packed, but I wanted to get out. I don't, for the most part, I don't want to waste my time at different places. I went, got my lift ride, and lift ride myself back over. I don't waste a lot of time because that would have been my Friday would have been spent either at the laundromat or doing, and now I'm able to get out and enjoy a little bit of in context of things. Y'all don't be shut in and not enjoy life. We do, if you've gotten vaccinated, I'm not going to tell you to not take risks. I mean, to take risks. You still need to be cautious. Doesn't mean you can't get COVID. The vaccine is only supposed to prevent you from getting as sick to where you were hospitalized and on a ventilator. It's supposed to help your body fight. And that's what the vaccines are supposed to do. You still need to take some precautions, but I mean, this place was packed. And you could tell, I'm like, oh, people is like, okay, they either got vaccinated or whatever. For those of you who didn't get vaccinated, though, you still are at risk, especially they're saying the younger people now, because a lot of them are not. They thinking they're invincible, and, I hope that works out for you. But, to me, still take precautions, but you do need to get out mentally. We've been locked up since March of 2020. to current, and it's a lot. It's a lot being in these four walls. Some of y'all have gotten to know your spouse as well. Oh, that's what I was going to get to the kids. I knew I left. So I'm at the sushi place. These two kids. The first kid was as I was walking to the sushi place. This little girl stumping. I want that. I was like, what the hell? She's screaming. I'm thinking my mom would have taken me in somewhere and she used to wear flip flops. Took that flip flop off and wore my behind out. Then once I got into the sushi restaurant, this little boy, he climbs from under the table. These, I don't know if it's Anglo kids. Although I hate to say it, black folks, we letting our kids do the same thing. We didn't used to be that way. Kid climbs, he crawls from under the table, and then he gonna fall all out, turning the. So he got a mom and dad. The dad picks him up, takes him outside. No, I would take you in that bathroom and tow your tail up. He gonna start acting a fool up in the restaurant, and we ain't talking little. We talking looks like about 3, maybe 5. Well, no, maybe more than that. 4 or 5 years old. And I'm like, oh hell to the no, no, no. Again, to me, you've been locked up. You see, they send. That's why a lot of parents was pissed off about no school, because now you locked up with your little bad behind kids y'all ain't raised. But then you dare a teacher to jump in their behind when they don't act right, and when the teacher telling you your little demon is bad, you got a problem. And I think I hate to say some of this, what happened with COVID was good. You got to know who your children are. You got to know who they are. And they, some of them is privileged buttholes who need somebody to put their foot in their behind. Ain't no way. What I saw, I was like, ooh, wee. And I saw this, I'm like, but you know what? Y'all need to see it. And I'm not saying child abuse, but I do believe in tearing up a tail. I believe that children, I'm a believer in this word in the Bible. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Whoop that tail. The tail needs to be whooped. There should be a point where your child should revere you. You shouldn't have to spank your child. If you train up a child correctly, my best friend, she said her dad never had to lay hands on her. And she's a good, she was a good kid. She said all he had to do was speak. She said my brother, he had to spank him a couple times. She said all my daddy had to do was speak. That's what it should be. But we got some of these folks now. They raise these kids, and kids call them bees and do all sorts of crap. I wish a ninja would. I had a friend of mine. I told him, I said, you know what? He had gotten custody of 2 nephews, and one of them had some massive issues. I said, brother, I would have been on the news. I would have been on the news. I would have been on the news if I tell you everything this little kid did. Shannon would have been on the news. I wish a ninja would. Walked in the house, would have got a baseball bat and whooped. And I ain't never been that way, but punching cars, trying to attack. Oh, Jesus. Hold the wheel. Hold the wheel. I'm telling you, 5-0 would have had me in handcuffs for beating the hell out that kid based on some of the stuff this guy went through. And he was trying to follow, because he's not a parent, he didn't have kids. Well, and he's a sweet guy, but he's trying to follow these counseling methodologies that the state of Arizona bro, you ain't dealing with somebody who rational. But sometimes rationality comes in knocking a ninja out. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Well, fear of your parent or whoever your caretaker is the beginning of wisdom. Wisdom that I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. That's what's wrong with these people right now with the law enforcement. I'm going to say this, and some people may not like what I'm going to say. What happened to Floyd was sad, and I didn't agree with how he was done. But we have now tried to align certain other behaviors as justifiable, and to me, they were not justifiable. The cop was justifiable. One, I remember watching him walk around his car and the cops are telling him, stop, 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 stop. And this ninja opens the door and gets in his car. And you wonder why you land in a hospital paralyzed. I don't have no sympathy for you. I'm sorry. And some black people may be pissed at me for saying that. The other one was drunk, sitting in line. He then fights with the officers, takes the taser, and tries. And you wonder why you shot. I got no sympathy for you. What's the other one I saw that was really mind blowing? They stop him because of something with it was a true. It was a good stop. From if you listen to the story in a plain thought process. It was a good stop because I think it was something with the plate. Something made them stop to pull him over. Upon pulling him over, they realized I think he had a warrant out for his arrest for something. Okay, something, probably a bench warrant. They tell him to stand at the car. This idiot decides to try to get back in the car and drive off. And I think they shot him dead. Let me explain something to you. And I am not a police officer. I have them in my family on Monty's side in Oklahoma. I'm an ordinary citizen. And if for any reason I was in the cop's shoes and you go to get in a vehicle and I don't know what you got going on in that vehicle, you could have a gun, you could have anything in that vehicle, you're getting shot. Oh, well, you should tase him. Honey, that cop might not get a second chance. If they can tase, cool. But honestly, I have a problem with the fact people aren't listening. I have a problem when people don't acknowledge authority. Okay? Now, I think in the beginning, Floyd was he had some kind of anxiety about getting in the car. So there were issues there. Where the cop went out of order was when he was on that man's neck. That whole thing was horrid. And this man is dying under his knee. And he's sitting there as if he's bagged the elephant. And almost proud about what he's doing with this black man on the ground. That right there was disgusting. My issues with these other ones is if I tell you to stand here, stand here. Do not move. But there's a generation, and I don't care what nationality you are, you don't want to listen. You want to do what you want to do. You're under authority. Stand your behind there. Don't say anything. You stay there to live another day. I understand that some of the treatment we get, actually a lot sometimes when it comes to law enforcement, has been horrid. But there are certain ones of us who now have this mindset, and I think it's a generational thing, where I'm going to do what I want to do, and I dare you. You crazy as hell. And then your family gets on here, and they're basically jumping on the bandwagon to align themselves with a George Floyd type of situation. I can't. God forgive me, and some people may not agree with me, and that's fine. Me and my father, we talking about this, and I was like, grumpy. And he said, nope, you stand your butt there, you don't move, you do what they told you to do. Trucker Bill, he said there were times he got pulled into just the trucking station, but he said he got the gun and the badge. Whatever that man say is what's going to happen. Bill's an Oakland boy. Oaktown. Oakland is horrid. He already know what the cops will do. Even if they ain't right, yes sir, no sir. Stay your butt there and try to live to see another day. But you gonna sit up here and then when you shot in some situation, now you got an issue. I can't. They can in a lot of cases they can. You're absolutely right. But it doesn't justify us doing things. Because white people can do it, I can do it too. Unfortunately, that is the case. We can't. And we see it. We saw it with the hanging on the side of the building. We already knew what that was going to be. But at the same time, because of who we are, we need to do. It has always been the premise, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that way. It honestly shouldn't be that way. It has always been the premise that we have to take a different route because of our ethnicity and who we are. But in a sense, and I don't want to be arrogant about this, it actually made us better than them. I think, and I hate to say this, I feel a little bit better than them that wasn't us hanging on the side of a building. You compare our protest during the days of Martin Luther King, and we peacefully marching across the bridge, and we show how these folks watered through dogs on us. Come on. And we still were peaceful. It makes us better than their heritage, which is disgusting. And the world got to see it. We got to see Anglo Americans pull their complete pants down and show they behind on national TV. That wasn't us. That's what I said. Black people was looking at white folks going, ooh, wait, y'all crazy as hell. Tell me you wasn't thinking it. Tell me, and I can't put all of them in that category because there is some of them that are like, they was looking at their own self like, oh my God, that's my culture. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look, they people scared them. But we have always carried ourselves. I mean, you look at the difference between Obama and the last administration, and as much as they hated certain folks, certain culture, compare him to that last individual. He was professional. I'm a Clinton fan, but at least Obama wasn't getting his sucked under the table. And if he did, let me tell you, he hit it very well. I'm just saying, we have to carry ourselves differently. And Michelle Obama, she hit it right on the head. When they go low, we go high. We've always had to hold a higher standard. But the problem now is that we're not holding that standard. We're basically, I'm going to do what I want to do. We are not them. Never have been, never will be. So no, if the cop says stand there, stand. As heartbroken as I was when they pulled that military gentleman over and treated him like crap outside his car, who has serviced our country and black man, he stood there. He followed the orders that were given to him. Heartbroken to see him go through that as a serviceman to our country. But you know what? When they go low, we go high. I did the same thing at that ratchet company I was at. They were gutter. I mean gutter. If I played you right now, a conversation in a room, gutter. And I sat there just as quiet because when they go low, we go high. We have always done that. And she so eloquently and articulately put that in perspective. It's been our culture. As a young black woman, and I can't remember, I think it kind of got viral. I just remember seeing it, something with Oprah, they were showing it on her show, but it's a viral feed of a young black woman who was very upset during the whole George Floyd situation. And she said, you guys are lucky. When she used some very explicit words, we're not even asking for restitution. We're not asking for that. She said, we don't even want to get even. We just want to live. Basically, I mean, I'm summing it up. We just want to live fairly. We're not trying to get even for all the bad crap you people have done. We just trying to live fairly. And this is how we're being treated. But see, it's okay, because this is a brand new generation of humans that we got. This is the same generations that are going to school and blow people away. It's a new generation. They ready to fight. They like, we not the previous generations. We not the hand holding, marching, singing song generation. We gonna fight generation. Keep pushing them buttons. Keep pushing them buttons. Y'all keep acting a fool. And the sad part is they're hitting all the minority groups. You're gonna hit the Asian group, Latino group with the border stuff. You're hitting the black folks. You pissing off all the minority groups. And the weird part is, as a collective, we outnumber you. As a collective, as minorities, we outnumber them. That's why they're acting such fools. They're scared because they've lost their numbers. They're no longer the prominent group. In true sense, Anglos are minorities in America. The only thing that makes them the majority is their money and their power and their positions, and that they hold most of the businesses and most of the jobs. That's the only thing that gives them majority standard. If we look at the numbers, if the minorities collectively came together, we outnumber them. Point blank, period. Done. And that scares the hell out of them. And if we could stop discriminating against each other, because that's part of the poison they put in our groups, is Africans think they better than blacks because I'm from Africa and I'm original African and blacks you're lesser than. That they do think that. Latinos may think they're better than blacks because they're a lighter skin and they've gotten a little bit more acceptance among the Anglos for positions because they're not as dark as we are, but they're still discriminated against. They showed them exactly, like I said, the dog whistle will come for you. Asian Americans, they thought they were better than even the minority community that they make a lot of money off of because they look down on us. And now the dog whistle has come from you. Matter of fact, they shot y'all up. Matter of fact, they blaming you for the virus and calling it all sorts of names, and it might not be specific to you. It might be tied to a lab and some other stuff. The dog whistle is going to come because in Anglo world, you are less than them. And I'm not saying all white folks because that is not the truth. But I'm saying those who are in that bigotry mindset, the dog whistle will come for you. It will. Because to them, you was a ninja. They're better than you because of their privilege. Because of their privilege. I didn't mean to go this route, but it's a good conversation. But I'm keeping it 100. So that's probably where we're going to end up going a little bit on this channel because I can say what I want to say. I'm not in trucking anymore, and I don't really care about that office, so I'm going to say what I want to say. We have to be very careful. And like I said, one of the things that I saw at this little company I'm at now, we got to be diverse. This is a diverse society. And America's got to change. But what's irony to me, I didn't realize how widespread ethnic discrimination was until Floyd. Because you saw people in other countries talking about Black Lives Matter. It wasn't necessarily about black in the sense of black. It was the sense of discrimination based on ethnic class. And it's also a classist discrimination going on. Rich versus poor and middle class. We're better than you because we got this, that, and the other thing. Those things have come to the table. Those things. So we got some waking up to do. We got some stuff to do. But I'm going to say, whatever you do right now, please be encouraged and start doing something beyond you. Do something to help other folk. Do something to be a blessing to somebody beside you. And you might find out that sometimes you're in a depression because you're focusing on yourself and I'm not trying to say, so I want to say this because you do have to find balance because there's some people who start doing everything for other people and don't do anything for themselves. That's a whole nother weirdness. What I'm saying is, if your life is all about you, and a lot of us, it's a very we're a selfie society. That's why I picture people taking pictures of themselves and posing and trying to look up. And I'm like, I can't stay. I hate the selfie pictures. Oh my God. So sick of seeing them. You know, selfie of this, selfie of that, and just narcissism. And I really believe in my own sense that even the previous administration, God was using that individual to show us, like I said, God gave us narcissistic. We're a very narcissistic society, especially here in America, and especially now with the new generations of people. Everybody taking pictures of themselves, trying to feel like this, that, and the other thing. Folks want to be superstars, and you can do what I'm doing right now and you become popular on YouTube and I'm a superstar and you think you just the bomb. Like, child, bye. That's why I'm just me. Y'all see me up here in this t-shirt. I don't really care. I'm going to be me. I'm not getting caught up. Even if this changed to, let's say, 100,000 folks, I'm going to be me. I got an associate of mine who has come into some finances and love him dearly. But the other day we were talking, I was using an example because he's got a really nice new car. And I was like, yeah. We're talking about some thinking of another associate that we have. And I was talking about a Lyft ride I had. And it just really, he said something. I was like, whoa, baby. In the sense, baby, not like that because we're just friends. But I was like, whoa, baby boy, you. And I didn't say anything to him. I just let him go. But I'd use an example of this Lyft driver right there. And he was talking about the vaccine. And he's not going to get it. And some guy got into his Lyft car. And the guy that got into his Lyft car, he said was supposedly a doctor. I don't know if the man was a doctor or not. Hell, he don't know if the man was a doctor or not. and that this man, his son worked for the CDC and all this bad stuff about the virus. I'm like, you don't know if his son is the janitor at the CDC. You don't even know if his son really works at the CDA. You don't know if the man even got a son. Well, I took him to a nice house and dropped him off. And so I used my friend's car. He just got a very, very nice car, very expensive car. And because of what he inherited from a family member. And so I said, well, that'd be like me looking at this car you're in, or anybody looking at your car and thinking you're a CEO of a business. He says, oh, that just means I have a lot of money. It was a very pretentious statement. I was like, whoa, whoa. We have to be careful, guys. You got to be careful not to get caught up in stuff and understand what's blessings and not being caught up in the blessing to make yourself kind of pop in your collar. And that's what I said. Right now, I don't look in them. That's not who I am. And it probably will never be who I am, because I have gone through a journey in this life about humility, humbleness, and gratefulness. And I'm grateful to God for a lot of things. I'm humble to him for a lot of things. I've been through stuff I don't even necessarily always talk about. And I am not homeless. I'm not hungry, nor have I ever been. And I done been through some stuff. But God has always provided for me and always blessed. So we have to start looking beyond ourselves. They're not saying you become so self-worthless. You get rid of your self-worth. You do have some self-value. But when you're so self-centered, like Grumpy, he's so self-centered, it's all about him. He doesn't see the other people's needs. It's always about him. That's why I said him and his old boy, they brothers. And they very much, it was all, old boy in previous minute, he don't give a damn about his kids. They're a means to an end if it serves his purpose for him. And they're got their nose up his butt because it serves their purpose for them. That's self-centered. That's narcissism on stealth. Anyway, y'all, what are we at? We at 91 minutes. Y'all, let me look real quick, finish out the comments. Talked about that. Oh, Kathy, I love that. She said, I've had them come to my office asking for me, but they look on the faces said I was expecting a pink person like me. The joke's on them. Oh my God, I used to get that a lot. So they would talk to me. Um, some people talk to me on the phone, and then when they walk in and they see who you are, it is just amazing. It's absolutely kind of funny, because then they're like, you can see they're in shock, especially if pink folks or like white folks. Y'all are really shocked when you get talk to a black person that ain't, well, I this and and I that, and I ain't gonna do this, and they talking in some kind of ebonics. And I'm not saying that somebody who speaks ebonics ain't intelligent, because I'm gonna tell you, we got some hood folks that may speak ebonics that are can take you under a table. Y'all remember the Malcolm X movie? And I don't know if it's true because I haven't read the true story of Malcolm. I need to get the book. But you remember in the Spike Lee movie he had the guy who was good with math and he could do the numbers in his head. And he talked about how intelligent. So we got some folks that's hood, jihad who quite intelligent. Grumpy on certain levels, not the smartest cat. But on other levels, Grumpy is smart. Grumpy used to be able to do numbers in his head and all sorts of stuff. Grumpy's got some street wisdom, smart as hell. On other levels, he's not. That's not it's not his forte. You have to be careful, because you will find some hood ninjas that are quite intelligent, smart as hell. Don't just get it twisted because they speak ebonics. They dumb. They not. Smart as hell. Just like that young lady who made that statement. You lucky we don't want to get even. We just trying to get fairness. Quite intelligent. She could tell she's a hood sister. But that statement itself was poetic and quite intelligent. Well, thank you, Miss Kathy. Y'all, I'm gonna get off of here because it's been an hour and a half, and I gotta get in my kitchen. I'm getting ready to do some cleaning in the kitchen. Plus, I gotta pay for this laundry, so I'll get my laundry delivered to me and go find out what they did. But anyway, y'all, 2 and 2. Be blessed. Peace.